The ODI World Cup has taken the center stage as big teams have started to stamp their authority on the tournament. And what promises to be a feast for cricket fans, Thursday will see two traditional rivals, South Africa and Australia, square off one another in Lucknow as both teams search for a decisive win. While Australia look to bounce back from their defeat to India, South Africa will look to cement their early dominance when the two teams meet. Hello and a warm welcome to WION Podcast. I am Aditya Pimpale and we are joined and privileged to have a former World Cup winner, Dav Whatmore, who was part of the Sri Lankan side who led them to the success back in 1996. And Dav, it's a very warm welcome to our WION Podcast. Hope you are doing well and you have been enjoying your time here with WION. Tell us about your experience before we start off for the game that will be taking place between two giants, Australia and South Africa.
I'm enjoying it very much, thank you. This is a little bit new for me, but I'm up for the challenge, and as I said, I'm enjoying it. I look forward to every game. It's a little bit tiring, but it's been enjoyable as well.
So Dave, let us come to the business side of the things. Australia and South Africa, two giants of the game. Down the years, they have served some treats, especially the 1999 semifinals between these two teams, They'll meet for the latest edition. South Africa in red hot form. They scored 428 runs, beating Sri Lanka in their opening game. Australia losing to India. So what is your take on that contest on Thursday?
I think it'll be a very good match. Both teams will need to win for different reasons. So Australia didn't win the game on Sunday, but it was a difficult game for them. South Africa obviously had a very big win, but again, the conditions helped them to achieve that. We are projecting a game in Lucknow without even knowing what the pitch is, but it is going to be a blockbuster, there's no question. Both teams boast good pace attacks and both teams boast also good batting, so it promises to be a very good contest.
Taking back into the history books, Lucknow pitch hasn't quite been that batting friendly in the past. We had seen one contest between India and New Zealand last year where it was relatively a low scoring affair. It hasn't been a much runs galore contest. So what we can expect, there were 3 centurions in that South African side. Australia have been firing on all cylinders, but what can you take? Is there any restrictions for these players in those environment, unknown conditions as well as you mentioned?
Well, I would expect the pitch would be a bit better than what it was when India was playing at home. So I understand that the ICC have their own set of groundsmen. Andy Atkinson is the person who controls it all. So I'm hoping that it'll be a surface that produces a good match. Both teams are evenly matched, as I said. I think it promises to be a good game.
The Australians, we will speak about that Australian side. They almost were bang on money when they got 3 wickets against the Indian batting attack. They were on the front foot. They couldn't capitalize later on. Do they miss that extra spinner? Ashton Agar, who was not picked up for the World Cup squad. Initially he was, but he wasn't picked. He got injured, but those are the reasons, But still, do they miss that extra spinner? Because I guess apart from Adam Zampa, they don't have an expert spinner in this team. Maxwell can do the job, but they need someone who is proven on these tracks.
Playing on the Chennai pitch, the answer is yes. They probably do need another spinner. But more importantly, they should take a catch. If they take that catch, it becomes a little bit more interesting. But, it was a good effort to start with 3 wickets for 2 runs. But they got to hold their catches to give themselves a chance. Not just them. It was a catch drop today when Mendes was on 19. And he gets another 100. So, it makes a difference. Sometimes you can drop a catch and that person doesn't make many, but it can also hurt you when you drop good players. But yes, I think they probably would like another spinner in their squad, but that's not to be.
We will come to the South African side of things. They scored 428. Batting unit, they were excellent. Bowling unit, they gave up more than 300 runs. So is that another concern for them, just on the bowling side of things?
No, it's the condition of the pitch. It was a bowler's graveyard. It was, and for the same reason, I'm expecting a very high score tomorrow when India play there. So the pitch really does, dictate how the game goes. In Chennai, it was difficult, nowhere near 300 runs. In Delhi, it was different. It was a really good one, 400 runs. Here in Hyderabad, also another good pitch, and 300 runs scored. So let's not get too carried away with players who struggle sometimes. It's as a result of the conditions that they're playing on.
Okay, these are the conditions. Dave, before we leave you, your final thoughts. Who is going to win this big encounter? They have served us some bigger treats in the past. 1999 semi-final was the biggest one. What is your prediction on this latest installment?
As I said, I think it'll be a spectacle, but Australia need a strong response. Just like England had a very strong response after they lost the opening match. So, I think I'd like to see Australia win to even up the points table, which will look, as if you're starting again. Apart from New Zealand, if Pakistan wins today, then they'll have 4 points, but everyone else will have 2. It's like you're starting the competition again. Yeah.
Of course, Dave, it was really interesting to have that chat. You're making things really spicy at the start of the things, in this ODI World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Dav Whatmore, 1996 World Cup winner coach of Sri Lanka. And we will have more from him in our next few podcasts as well. For now, from me and the rest of the team, goodbye and thanks for joining.